Many gardeners believe they cannot grow vegetables without full sun, and this misconception keeps countless people from ever starting a garden. If your yard is shaded by trees, buildings, or fences, you might think your dreams of homegrown produce are impossible. The truth is that plenty of delicious vegetables not only tolerate shade, but actually prefer it, producing better quality harvests away from intense sunlight. After 3 decades of growing food in less than ideal conditions, I have discovered that shady spots can become some of the most productive areas in your garden. Today I am sharing 12 vegetables that thrive in complete shade, perfect for small spaces where sunlight is limited. Stick around for number 9, which produces abundantly even in the darkest corners. And I have a bonus tip at the vegetable that thrives in shade is lettuce. This salad staple actually performs better with limited sunlight than it does in full sun, making it the perfect crop for those dark corners of your yard. In full sun to grow well, and dappled light filtering through trees works beautifully. Loose leaf varieties like red sales, Simpson Elite, and salad bowl are particularly well suited to shady conditions because they mature quickly and can be harvested leaf by leaf over an extended period. Butterhead types, including Butter Crunch and Tom Thumb, form loose, tender heads with exceptional flavor when grown in cool, shaded locations. Even romaine varieties perform adequately in partial shade, though heads may be slightly smaller than those grown in more light. Direct. So lettuce vegetable perfect for shady gardens is spinach. Like lettuce, spinach despises heat and bolts rapidly when temperatures climb or when exposed to long days of intense sunlight. Growing spinach in shade keeps plants cooler and significantly delays bolting, extending your harvest by weeks or even months. Spinach requires only 2 to 3 hours of direct light daily, though it appreciates bright indirect light throughout the day. Bloomsdale Longstanding remains a favorite variety for shady conditions, producing heavily savoyed leaves with excellent flavor. Space. Corvair and Regiment are smooth leaf varieties that also perform well with limited sunlight. Plant spinach seeds 1/2 inch deep and thin to 4 to 6 inches apart once seedlings emerge. Keep soil consistently moist, as spinach grown in shade uses less water than sun-grown plants, but still needs regular moisture for tender leaf production. The cooler conditions in shady spots allow spring-planted spinach to produce well into early summer and fall-planted spinach to continue through light frost, maximizing your harvest from limited space. The third shade-loving vegetable is arugula. This peppery salad green bolts almost immediately in hot, sunny conditions, making it frustrating to grow for gardeners without shade. In a shaded location with only 2 to 3 hours of direct sunlight, arugula remains productive far longer, producing tender leaves with a pleasant peppery bite rather than the harsh, overwhelmingly spicy leaves that develop when plants are heat-stressed. Both cultivated arugula and wild arugula grow well in shade, with wild arugula being particularly tolerant of less than ideal light conditions. Sow arugula seeds 1/4 inch deep and thin to 4 inches apart, or broadcast thickly and harvest as baby greens. The plants grow quickly even in shade, often ready for first harvest within 35 to 40 days. Cut leaves when they reach 3 to 4 inches long, and the plants will continue producing new growth for additional harvests. Succession planting every 2 weeks ensures a continuous supply of this flavorful green. Now, if you are finding this video helpful so far, I want to share something special with you. I have put together a free newsletter where I share my best gardening tips, seasonal reminders, and advice you will not find anywhere else. If you struggle with maximizing space in small gardens, dealing with difficult growing conditions, or knowing what to plant and when, this newsletter was made for you. Just click the link in the description to join for free. All right, let us continue. The fourth vegetable that thrives without full sun is kale. This nutritional powerhouse tolerates shade remarkably well, producing tender, sweet leaves in conditions where many other vegetables would struggle. Kale needs only 3 to 4 hours of direct sunlight daily, though it can produce reasonable harvests with even less light if it receives bright indirect light throughout the day. Shade-grown kale often has more tender leaves than sun-grown plants because the reduced light slows growth slightly, preventing the toughness that can develop in rapidly growing plants. Lacinato kale, also called dinosaur or Tuscan kale, performs particularly well in shade with its long, narrow, bumpy leaves that remain tender even on mature plants. Red Russian kale tolerates low light admirably and adds beautiful color to shady garden beds with its purple stems and blue-green leaves. Curly kale varieties like Winterbore also succeed in partial shade, though they may grow slightly less vigorously than in full sun. Plant kale seeds 1/4 inch deep and thin to 12 to 18 inches apart. Harvest outer leaves as needed, leaving the center to continue producing throughout the season. The fifth vegetable for shady spaces is Swiss chard. This colorful and productive green is closely related to beets and shares that families' tolerance for less than perfect growing conditions. Swiss chard produces well with only 3 to 4 hours of direct sunlight, and the reduced light often results in more tender, less fibrous stems and leaves. Bright Lights is a rainbow mix that brings stunning color to shady corners with stems in shades of red, orange, yellow, pink, and white. Ford Hook Giant produces classic thick white stems and dark green savoyed leaves that cook beautifully. Ruby Red and Rhubarb Chard offer deep crimson stems that hold their color, even when prepared in the kitchen. Sow seeds 1/2 inch deep and thin, to 8 to 12 inches apart once plants have several true leaves. Begin harvesting outer leaves when plants reach 6 to 8 inches tall, always leaving the center intact for continued production. A single chard plant can produce for many months in the cooler conditions that shady spots provide. The sixth shade-tolerant vegetable is Asian greens. This category includes a wide variety of fast-growing, nutritious vegetables that actually prefer cooler, shadier conditions. Bok choy, tatsoi, mizuna, and komatsuna all thrive with only 2 to 4 hours of direct sunlight and bolt quickly when grown in full sun during warm weather. These greens are staples in Asian cuisine, but work beautifully in salads, stir-fries, and soups, regardless of your cooking style. Baby bok choy varieties like Joy Choy and Mei Ching Choy mature in just 45 to 50 days and remain tender and mild when grown in shade. Tatsoi forms beautiful rosettes of spoon-shaped dark green leaves that tolerate surprisingly deep shade. Mizuna produces feathery, mild-flavored leaves that add texture to salad mixes. Direct sow seeds 1/4 inch deep and thin according to variety, generally 4 to 8 inches apart for full-sized plants or closer for baby greens. These quick-maturing vegetables are perfect for succession planting in shady spots, providing continuous harvest throughout the growing season. The seventh vegetable that flourishes in shade is leaf celery, also called cutting celery or Chinese celery. Unlike stalk celery, which demands perfect conditions and full sun to produce those thick, crunchy ribs, leaf celery is grown for its intensely flavored foliage and thrives in partial shade. The leaves have a concentrated celery flavor that adds depth to soups, stews, stocks, and salads, and the plant is far easier to grow than its finicky cousin. Leaf celery needs only 3 to 4 hours of direct light and actually produces more tender, better-flavored leaves in shade than in full sun. Sow seeds on the soil surface since they need light to germinate, and thin seedlings to 6 inches apart. Begin harvesting outer stalks when plants reach 8 to 10 inches tall. The plants are perennial in mild climates and will continue producing flavorful leaves for extended periods with regular harvesting. The eighth shade-loving vegetable is sorrel. This tangy, lemon-flavored perennial green is virtually unknown to many gardeners, despite being incredibly easy to grow and wonderfully versatile in the kitchen. French sorrel and garden sorrel both tolerate deep shade, producing well with only 2 to 3 hours of direct sunlight. The tart, acidic leaves add brightness to salads, make excellent soup and can be cooked like spinach with delicious results. Sorrel is a perennial that returns year after year once established, making it a perfect permanent planting for shady corners where other vegetables might struggle. Start seeds indoors or direct sow 1/4 inch deep and thin plants to 12 inches apart. Harvest leaves as needed and remove flower stalks when they appear to encourage continued leaf production. A single sorrel plant can provide years of harvests with minimal care. The 9th vegetable that produces abundantly even in deep shade is green onions, also called scallions. These versatile alliums tolerate remarkably low light levels, producing usable harvests with as little as 2 hours of direct sunlight daily. Green onions add fresh, mild onion flavor to countless dishes and can be harvested continuously by cutting what you need and allowing plants to regrow. Evergreen, Hardy White, and Tokyo Long White are reliable varieties that perform well in shade. You can grow green onions from seed, from sets, or even from the root ends of grocery store scallions placed in soil or water. Plant seeds 1/4 inch deep and thin to 1 inch apart if growing in clumps for continuous harvest. For larger individual scallions, thin to 2 to 3 inches apart. Green onions mature in just 60 to 90 days from seed and even faster from sets, making them a quick and satisfying crop for impatient gardeners working with limited light. The 10th vegetable perfect for shade is radishes. These quick maturing roots grow well in partial shade, though they may take slightly longer to mature than in full sun. Radishes need only 3 to 4 hours of direct sunlight and actually produce milder, less pungent roots when grown away from intense light and heat. Cherry Belle, French Breakfast, and Easter Egg are all excellent varieties for shady conditions. Sow seeds 1/2 inch deep and thin to 2 inches apart once seedlings emerge. Keep soil consistently moist for the crispest, mildest roots. Radishes mature in as few as 25 days even in shade, making them perfect for tucking into empty corners and filling gaps between slower-growing crops. The 11th shade-tolerant vegetable is beets, grown primarily for their nutritious greens rather than large roots. While beet roots need more light to develop fully, the leafy tops grow well in partial shade and are actually the most nutritious part of the plant. Beet greens have a mild, slightly earthy flavor similar to Swiss chard and can be prepared the same ways. Bull's blood is an excellent variety for shade-grown greens, producing beautiful deep red foliage that adds color to salads. Sow beet seeds 1/2 inch deep and thin to 2 to 3 inches apart for green production. Harvest outer leaves as needed while allowing the center to continue growing, or pull entire young plants as baby beets with greens attached. The 12th and final vegetable that thrives in complete shade is watercress. This peppery green naturally grows along shaded stream banks and actually struggles in full sun, making it perfect for the darkest corners of your garden. Watercress needs consistently moist soil and tolerates wet conditions that would rot most vegetables. The spicy leaves add wonderful kick to salads, sandwiches, and soups. Start watercress from seeds or root stems from grocery store bunches in water or constantly moist soil. The plants need only 1 to 2 hours of direct sunlight and thrive in dappled shade beneath trees. Keep soil perpetually moist or grow in containers set in trays of water for best results. And now for the bonus tip gardeners swear by. You can significantly increase the light available in shady areas by using reflective surfaces strategically. White painted fences, light-colored mulch, mirrors positioned safely, and even aluminum foil wrapped around cardboard placed at the back of garden beds all bounce additional light onto your plants. This reflected light can make the difference between a struggling crop and a thriving one. Additionally, keep trees and shrubs pruned to allow dappled light through rather than complete darkness, and remove any lower branches that block light unnecessarily. These simple modifications can transform deeply shaded spots into productive growing areas that yield impressive harvests despite limited direct sunlight. Thanks for sticking with me through the entire video. If you found this helpful, do not forget to join our free newsletter. I share exclusive tips, seasonal planning guides, and advice that helps gardeners just like you grow more food with less stress. Click the link in the description to sign up. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and check out our other videos on growing a better garden.